What's up? Welcome back to another video, guys. I quickly just want to say we hit 1,000 subscribers and I'm honestly shocked. That is a milestone I personally thought I would never reach, like ever in a YouTube career, if you want to say. I'm nowhere near to be able to call this a career, but it is something I do enjoy to do, just to record the videos, show like the build process and help you guys out. I'm happy to hear it has actually been helping quite a bit with a lot of people. I always get nice supportive comments all the time. So I was gonna do a big 1,000 subscriber video. Unfortunately, because I'm such a small channel, I asked, hey, does anyone have any questions? I got 2 questions. So I should have saved them. I didn't save them. I forgot about it and I thought they would have stayed. Maybe when we hit 5,000, or if we hit 5,000, I will do a 5,000 subscriber video dedicated to that. But I felt like there just wasn't enough to do a full video just for 2 questions. Enough of that, let's get to the video. Let me show you guys something that I've had for quite a while. And it's one of those mods, it's pretty low key. Not a lot of people will notice it. If you own the car, you will for sure notice it. In my opinion, it's probably the best OEM Plus mod you can get for this car right now. So if we make our way over to my trunk with my box of goodies, in here is the mod. This right here is the SMY interior door handle LED kit. So you can see it's going to be interesting to install. First off, you can tell right there, that is it. We are literally adding little red LEDs to the door handle of our car. When I saw this existed, I got really excited. This is something I actually considered of doing back when I first got my car, and I was going to DIY it. But now that there's a kit on the market and you could buy it, and it's actually like pretty reasonably priced in my opinion, I pulled the trigger and I bought it. I bought this for myself for my birthday. So the neat thing about this kit is you actually get 4 replacement door handle trims, I guess you want to call it. And that's what it looks like right there. And looking at that first glance, this to me, in all honesty, looks very OEM, which is why I was so hyped about it. It comes with the LED, it comes with the wiring. Like, that's sweet. Unfortunately, it's not a plug-and-play setup, so I'm gonna have to figure out where all the interior lighting is for these. So luckily, because I did the turn signal mod, where basically you get a DRL light and a sequential signal, I can show you that real quick. You can see that. So when you're driving at night, it is white. Obviously the car has to be on to see it. But because I did that, I already know where the wiring is for the front. I have no idea for the back. So that will save me some time. So I'm gonna have to go through, I'm gonna have to figure out what is what exactly. I mean, I understand, you know, how this works. I just was hoping they would maybe have some wiring diagrams, but it doesn't really seem like it. I don't know. I mean, there's something there. That could be it. That could just be the front. Not sure. I also don't think anyone has installed this yet on YouTube. I'm sure someone in the world has it. YouTube-wise, I can't seem to find anything. So I'm going completely on my own. I'm gonna have to figure it out. So I'll go ahead and start tearing off the door card. It's pretty simple. There's so many videos online showing this. I'm not really too concerned to show everything. There's gonna be push tabs all around the door card. You're gonna have to pull it off, and you're gonna have to lift it up, shimmy it off. It's really not too bad. So let's get to throwing her in. So I did start removing these connections. One thing I will mention, this white wire going to this connection, you're normally not gonna have. This white wire is only here because I use it to power the white DRL that's in the turn signal light that I mentioned earlier before. So your factory STi will not have this white wire, so please disregard that. This is what we gotta work on next. So the one connected to the handle, it looks like you just pop that up. Oh, and it just comes right out. That was pretty easy. This one, I'm gonna assume, again, you pop it up. Oh, this is the lock. So if I just hold the lock back, oh, that's super easy to come out. You just literally like slide it in. literally just pops right out. Nice. When I first removed the handle, there was this plastic part. It was on just like this, and then the Phillips screw on top of that. What it does, I have no idea, but it fell off, just so you guys know. Here's your driver's side and passenger side. It does come with 4, so 2 for the passenger, 2 for the driver. This is a nice little comparison between color between the two. So you can see the OEM is a little darker, but it's really not bad. And I think once it's installed, you won't be able to even tell the difference. But you can see it's a nice and sleek light up there. Once it's installed, you won't even see it. Well, obviously until it's on. Start taking this apart. I really have no idea what to do. I just see that there's a pin going through. So I'm gonna say, we try to punch it out. It's the pin. The lock slides right out. So don't forget, it looks like the spring does slide into there. I think that's the only thing we really got to worry about. It should be interesting to put back in. Lastly, we got this little part right here. If we just pry it, should just come right out. And the only thing remaining are these foam pieces, which I think we can steal. Yeah, so my car is a 2018, so maybe older ones will just decay and fall off. I'm hoping this sticks back on when I go to put it on. But yeah, still sticky. All right, and I guess we just reassemble it. Right here on my fingers, that's where the little spring arm needs to go. So I'm just gonna kind of push it down so it looks like this on the inside. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm just gonna kind of push down on it. Oh, and actually it goes in pretty easy. This, just like so. I guess you just slide that pin back in. So that went in pretty easy. Lastly, this little part might have been easier to put it in before so we didn't have a handle in the way. And that's it. That's it, reassembled. That wasn't too bad. I just want to show you guys some testing I've been doing. So anytime your interior lights are on, this light would be on. And when they're off, it goes off. So that works pretty well. I have actually been double checking my wiring right here. So this white wire, like I said, is to the DRL that's up in the mirror. Currently that's on. And if you look at this right here, this one's off. So this is an issue I noticed before. I was at a drive-in and I saw the white light was still on and I couldn't figure out why. So currently I have that white wire wired into this yellow and blue wire on the driver's side trim piece. But yeah, I noticed that was an issue and wasn't huge about it. So I went through and I tried some new connections. It seems like this yellow and black one right here, that is the answer. So whenever I have this plugged in here, the light for the switch will come on and it doesn't permanently stay on, and I can actually turn it on and off, so you can see. But if I have it in the yellow and blue one and I try to turn it on and off, it stays on. So I'm gonna rewire that. Do not put it in the yellow and blue one like I did in my previous video. I also added a silver pin so I could pin into that existing pin to get power. So when I first wired this white wire in to that switch, I used one of these little silver terminal pieces that came in like this DIY, like make your own little connections, you know? And I'm pretty sure I was the first one to do this. It's kind of cool seeing people are copying me. I'll go ahead and I might be able to reuse the one that's in there. But I basically used just one of these little terminal pieces, put the wire in there, crimped it down, and it's been holding up. I think it's been installed for a year or two now. Haven't had issues. So I'm gonna pull out the existing one that's in there and I'll put it into the yellow and black and remove it from that yellow and blue. So let me wire this up and show you it working. Works like a charm. Also your ground, I just put it into that bolt right there. Any bolt on the door, wherever you get a good ground connection, will work just fine. Let me tidy this all up and throw it all back together. All this work and you can't even tell we did anything. This is why I love this. I think this is so sick. Like up close even, you wouldn't know. Unless you got real under there, you'd have no idea. Turn on the lights. Too sick. And now this is wired up, right? So I'm happy that mystery is solved. I literally remember being at the drive-in and I was like, why the heck are these lights on? Like I look like an idiot. So I'm happy that's all fixed up. I was looking at these instructions again, trying to go through and trying to figure out what is going on here. And I think this is gonna be one of those scenarios where you just yeet the instructions because they are completely useless. Well, I mean, if you understand the language, it's probably good, but for me, it's garbage. Luckily for you guys, you're gonna have a video, so you don't need instructions. You're welcome. It's starting to get dark. I'm gonna try to bang out one more door. I'm gonna do the passenger front. I'm getting ready. I'm just gonna throw in a time lapse, send it. I'll show you guys the wiring because I know the wiring is gonna be the same as what I'm already using for the light on the mirror. So I'll just show you that, just so you guys know. Let's do the time lapse. So it got too dark for me to finish up. The mosquitoes were getting bad, but look at this. This looks so good. This is exactly, literally exactly what I wanted. I just need to get rid of this now, this green button right here. This is to my fogs, it's aftermarket. I looked at replacing it before with the red one. It's just, it's one of those really tiny little LEDs you gotta like desolder. Over Christmas, I'll look at replacing it just because this kills the vibe. So I ended up running out of daylights and I was getting just swarmed by mosquitoes. So I went in for the night. Something I did notice, which is pretty odd, is this car, it seems like there's not actually a connection for the light. Like basically I can't wire up these interior lights with the lights of the car. So when I turn on my interior lights, I can't make it light up. I don't know why. So that's why when everyone's wiring up their side mirrors, everything's a little bit weird and different. Now, I did manage to make the driver's side work. So the driver's side, I'm capable of making it work. So if I just leave it on auto, for example, there's daylight, it's not gonna come on. As soon as it gets dark, you know, the lights come on. The issue's over here. It's not turning on. I've already gone through all the connections. None of them will turn on with the interior lights. I don't know why, I don't know how it's wired up. I can't explain it. I wish I could, but I can't. So my plan was to wire it up with the interior lights. That's really how I wanted it, kind of have it fully feel OEM. But since that's not working, one of the issues, I mean, look, I could leave it like this right now and it would work, but the car, it's gonna look stupid every time you turn off the car. Since basically the passenger side will be wired up to be when the car is running, and the driver's side will be wired up to be when the interior lights are on. One DRL on the mirror will be on, the other will not. I've already tested it and that is the case. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove both rear door cards. I'm gonna wire them up and I'm going to see how the rears react when I turn the car on and off and I turn the interior lights on. I'm hoping the interior lights work back there, but I have a feeling it's gonna be the same case with a passenger where the car has to be running and just whatever ends up working. It might be like the window motor. I don't know what the connection is, but whatever it is, we'll make it turn on. And me wanting this car to feel OEM and not feel weird and just stuff doesn't feel right, I really want this to feel OEM. I might be running wires through the entire car to all the doors just for these lights. So that will be decided once I get the rears done. decision has been made. What I'm gonna do is I'm basically gonna run 3 wires to the 3 other doors. The driver door works exactly how I want. The passenger front and then the driver and passenger rear, they don't work how I want. You're inside the car every day. This is something I don't wanna rush. I don't wanna go in the car and then one side on is one side's off. And then people ask me, hey, why is one side on and one side's off? I don't want that. So to fix this, I'm gonna run 3 wires through the car. It's annoying, it's gonna suck. I gotta pull apart a lot of the trim. That's okay. I'd rather be happy than frustrated and just disappointed in the final fit and finish. So if you guys want to wire this as I wired it up before, so basically how I wired up the front mirrors, you can happily do that. I'm not gonna do that. I think I showed the original driver front, but I'll show you the rest of them if you wanna wire it up that way. So the driver rear, you're actually gonna have to tap into the green and black wire right there. So it's the third one, it's the middle connection, that's driver rear. Same thing with the passenger rear, green and black, middle connection, exact same. And the passenger front, if you wanna do it this way, which one is it? Green and black. Once again, same one, this is the connector. It's the one when you remove the door, it's gonna be on the right. It's the one with more of the pins. So the one with less, you don't tap into this one, you do not tap into the smaller one. And I'm pretty sure I showed the driver, you'll just have to reference it in the beginning. I think it's like a yellow and blue or yellow and green wire. I'll put it right here on the screen. I ended up swapping over all of the handles to the new ones that are the replacements. I did have a little bit of issue like pushing that little bar in. I don't know what you call it, a pin. I guess call it a pin. I had issues pushing that pin in. I did have to drill out one a little bit just to make sure it went in all the way. My wires showed up. I ordered this off of Amazon. A bunch of little rolls. I think it'll be okay. You'll also see I tore apart the interior even more. And the reason for that is, like I said, I want this setup to look OEM. I want this to look like it's not a modification. I want this to feel like it came from factory. That is my goal with this. And because of that, I need to run wires to all of these lights coming from the driver's side. I don't see another way of doing this. If someone figures out another way, let me know and I'll correct it. But I don't see another way. So as you can see, it's completely torn apart. All of my interior pieces are just stuffed back there. And the idea, well, this is gonna have to come off too. The idea is to run 3 wires from this door through that grommet. 2 are gonna go that way. 1 is gonna go to the back. All that work just for that. But I have to do that because that's the only wire or the only connector I could find that actually turns on when the lights turn on, which is on the driver door. So I guess we'll just start running them. I don't know. Finally done. This has been a lot of extra work, a lot more work than I expected to do. I thought this project was gonna be done hours ago, but me being me, I like to give myself extra work. So let me just explain everything really quick before I button it all up and throw it all back together, and it looks like we did absolutely nothing. This being said, the way I did it, you do not need to do. You can just simply plug into the connectors. The only downside of that is you have no control of the interior lighting. To me, it should just be its own wire that would supply power. I have no idea why there's nothing that does that. So I don't know if like maybe just everything runs through the same power line. I don't know. Like I don't understand how it works. I don't know. In my opinion, it should turn on when the interior lights come on, but for some reason it's not. Hence why I did this big mess right here. So what I did, I tapped into the yellow and black wire right there. These are the 3 connectors It's the, I guess, medium size one, the one that would be facing like the front of the car if you were to remove it. I did that whole pin thing I did before, and basically I ran 3 wires. Those 3 wires I just ran up and out into that grommet and down into here. The blue one goes to the rear, the yellow and the green go over there. That's run into the grommet, into the door, under the floor, into the rear door. So this white one here, you don't have to worry about it. You're also gonna see I have a white one over on the other side. Basically, that is just a power line to my mirror lights. If you don't have these lights, you don't gotta worry about it. So now both those mirrors work on the interior lights. So now when I turn it on, so you can see, they're on. That one's on, might be hard to see. That one's on, and the one over there is on. So I am just going to throw it back together. I'm not really gonna show this. If you know how to take it apart, you know how to put it back together. It's literally steps in reverse. I was noticing there was a gap right here where like the handle goes to the door. So from the inside, when the door is back on, you would see actually a bit of a gap right here because you have to put a screw in there and it pulls the door card in. So I wanted to kind of help eliminate that. And the cheapest and easiest thing I could think of that everyone has, you know, ability to get is I just wrap these prongs right here in electrical tape. That just kind of helps put a little bit of tension on these prongs that the handle slips into. So now it's actually pretty on there. And to give you some reference, these are the prongs that I covered in electrical tape. Obviously there's none on it right now, but just to help give you guys an idea, and hopefully that helps you guys during the install, because I want this to literally look as OEM as possible and look like I didn't even touch it. That's the whole point of it. So let me throw it all back together, see if there's any gapping. I don't think there will be. Then I'll show you guys the final result. So I'm about to lose daylight, but we can go ahead and give it a test. There you go. So you can see when the inside lights are on, those lights come on. And in the back, that one's on, and that one's on. It actually looks really bright on the camera just because it's so dark in here, but it's not that bright. It's like what you would expect from OEM in my opinion. Pretty sweet. I really got to change out this green light right here for the fog. It looks pretty stupid now. I was just finishing up editing the video and realized I didn't do an outro. I also didn't show what the door handles look like during the day, so I'll show you guys that really quick. It honestly looks OEM. You wouldn't even know. The only time you'll ever know there's a difference with this is when it's nighttime and the lights come on. So this is the finished look. It looks completely OEM. You wouldn't even know the difference, but as soon as you come down, you'll see that little light. But you know, this is my point of view. I can't see a thing. I would never even know. Until I actually turn on the lights is when you would know. And obviously during the day, it's not that bright, but you know, you can see it works. And that is the same with the rest of the doors. So I'm extremely happy with the final fit and finish of this. It works exactly as I wanted. It was annoying having to deal with the wiring to run the power, but it is what it is. And I've been driving it now for a while, actually. I'm so behind on editing. Like, it's been a couple of weeks, but I love it. It's exactly as I intended, exactly how I wanted, and I am happy, do not regret it. One of the top mods, in my opinion. I know it's very minor, not everyone's gonna care about it, but for me, it's something I've wanted for a while. It's actually a pretty affordable mod too, so if it's something you're on the fence about doing, I recommend it. Just, it's gonna take a while. I'll provide down below the links for everything, the wire, the kits, everything you need. If you guys have questions, feel free to comment and ask them. I do my best to reply to every comment that I do get. And on that note, that's it guys, this is the video. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and take it easy.